Hello, fellow enjoyers of the AFL. It's Matta here, back with another Supercoach video. And this week, I am happy. As you can see, top 1% score this week, which bumps up our ranking by 18,000. Shows how bad I was going. So yeah, 2096, pretty decent score this week. I'll just jump straight back into it, to be honest with you. Straight into it. Let's look at this, right? So, what went well this week? Ryan and Sheasel, it's D1, D2 right there, doing excellent. And then the rest of the defense, I unfortunately had Dacos out and Hoare and Reed, so I only had 21 players this week. But the rest, the mid-price / rookies have done just fine, So they all held up their end of the bargain and sort of gives me confidence into the next few weeks where I can field them, hopefully, for a little bit longer. So Bont, no good, but at least I don't have Tom Green, so I didn't have to worry about two disgusting scores from Uber Primos. The rest of the midfield was actually not that great, to be honest with you. Butters, Miller, Sarong, okay. Crouch, 91, got suspended for a week. I don't know, he's testing my patience too much, to be honest with you, and his time might be up at Adventure Tortoise. Sanders got subbed out, whatever, is what it is. Lib is out this week, so I think he's a very easily fieldable option this week, is how I see it. McKercher out with the rib injury. We'll talk about what we're going to do with him later. Carroll sub, Wilson did good. Clark, he's gone. But yeah, this week I brought in Gon and I had him as my VC. Gave me a 138, which is very nice. And then a Marshall 120, which could have been more, but he had a few clangers. So it's nice. This week, I can officially say I've got R1 and R2. I have, the top two rucks in the comp. So I can be very comfortable moving forward with those two now, finally. And then the forward line was excellent as well, really. I'm wrapped with that, with Heaney not on, on the bench. For the lowest score to be a 64, that's just fine. And that ended up being my lowest score for the round, for the top 18. So the changes that I'm going to look at this week. So there's a clear bubble boy that I don't have, and our bubble boy is Will Graham. So I'm going to get rid of Carroll most likely this week because I think he's kind of finished. We'll see. Depending on when Carlton play, like if they have an early game and I can figure out whether he's going to be the sub or not, that might convince me to keep him, but I just don't think he's a fieldable option moving forward, and he's made enough cash. So we're going to move him on to Will Graham. Nice and easy. The next trade we're going to make is Jai Clark, and we're going to have to move it forward. I know people are a little bit hesitant on him because he got a 75, but I still have confidence in Charlie Common. So the worst case scenario, I bring him in and he might make 60, 70K and then I got to flick him. But he's an intercepting key defender playing for North Melbourne. He's going to get a lot of the ball. He could very easily get a 95 or so this week against Hawthorn, and, all of a sudden, his cash gen's going to go crazy. And also, he's going to get defender status as well. So, worst case scenario, I might have to trade out, a Hoare or a Zach Reed there, and then I can shift him back there so I don't have to field him, right? And that'll help make way for Biggie Nguyen and Blake Drury next week. So, with Biggie Nguyen, we do know that Callan Dawson's going to be out for about 2 or 3 weeks, so that sort of saves him, a bit of time, gives him the opportunity to show his stuff and, show that he's worth starting. So yeah, we'll see. Those two are very firmly in the sights next week as well. Maybe it might even be a triple downgrade next week. Who knows? Because there's a few bubble boys that are popping up. So that's the thought right now. And then the other trade, I'm gonna do a boost. There we are. So we're gonna hit the little cheeky boost here, and we're gonna get rid of Crouch. Now, I'm not trading Crouch because he's out for a week. That's not really an issue. We could, use him to loop players and whatnot. I'm trading Crouch because his time on ground is an issue. to be honest with you. And with the amount of uncertainty with Adelaide's midfield, I don't think he's going to be that good a mid. I don't think he's going to be. So his CBAs are high, as you'd expect, but this time on ground is just floating around the 70, which is just not good enough for a primo mid. So anyway, the 1 week out is an excuse to trade him. And now here's the issue. I don't know who I'm going to trade in, but the player who I think is a good trade in, right? So here's one option. If we go to 3-round average, number 4 there is Hayden Young. And I'm not one of those people who is against trading someone who I had out, or trading someone out and then trading them back in. I'm not stubborn like that. So I think that his role is, he's probably got 110 average role. My only issue with bringing him in, the only thing that has me a bit unsure about it, is the fact that I already have Butters, Sarong, Fife, Ryan all in the same buy round. So that'd be 5 in that one buy round, which isn't too bad because it's only those 2 teams. But anyway, that's one option. And then the other option is Sammy Walsh. So my plan going into the next 2 weeks, we'll go with Sam Walsh for now, right? Gives me 78K to work with in the coming weeks. My plan for this team is to have enough fieldable rookie options where I don't need to upgrade as quick, right? So going into next week, we can loop Darcy and Cadman. We'll probably bring in Harley Reid there. There's a lot of fieldable options, actually, now that I look about it, on the bench here. There's a lot of fieldable options. I still think Colby, we'll touch on Colby. Colby, his break even is sky high right now. What is it, 101? But he's going to very likely play this week. And after his price goes down by that initial 20, 30K, I still think he's a worthwhile hold. His price will keep going up. He's someone that North are looking for on the outside to use the ball because he uses it very well. He's a jet. So I don't really have any urgency in trading him out. And when we look at the field here, so Heaney, Flanders, Powell, and Fife are all fieldable options, obviously. Reid, also a very fieldable option who I'd like to get back into the forward line at some point. So that probably means that Sexton needs to go. Comben might need to shift back to the defense. I'm not sure. But basically, there'll be 5 very fieldable options in that forward line. So I mean, just one, Comben, Drury, who's the other one? Biggie, maybe Hugo Garcia from St Kilda. Who knows, right? So I don't really have to worry too much about the forward line just yet, I don't think. Unless I really want to bolster it, I can just chuck Shai Bolton in there, and then I don't have any bad fielding options, right? In the midfield and the defense, D'Ambrosio at this point, Zach Williams, Closey, Sanders, Roberts, McKercher, Graham, all very fieldable players. So my thinking at this point is, so a couple of these fieldable options like Roberts and D'Ambrosio will have to go. But what I'm thinking is the midfield, right? This is where I want to try to bank as many points as I can, and I want to sort of upgrade it as quickly as I can. So in the next couple weeks, we've got a few dudes like Tom Green, who we're keen on. His break even is 181. So he'll come down to about the 600 range. He's one that's in the sights. Goulden, he's also in my sights. A 143 break even. He's at a relatively low price. My only concern with him is the Heaney effect. Has Heaney just taken up all these points? Perhaps. Another option going into the next few weeks is Petrarca. We won't be getting him next week. We'll give him the opportunity to drop his price a little bit. So another option there, maybe he goes down another 10 to 20K, and then we just bring him in. So we probably have another 2 or 3 weeks we can wait on for him, especially because there's the buy. Clary, I'm not put off by the bad scores. I think he's He's a bit fat at the moment and his finger hurts. So he's got that little surgery coming up. He'll come back. His price will go down a little bit more, break even 158. His price will go down maybe another, 20, 30K. And at 470, this caliber of player, we can't pass up. So the midfield will get filled up with, positions. So they'll get these last three positions. I want to just fill them up, right? And then Roberts is going to go into the defense. McKercher can go into the defense. Comben can go into the defense. And we don't have to worry too much about those rookie options and fielding them there. Because look, so if we count them up, D'Ambrosio, who might be one that goes, Williams, Closey, McKercher, Roberts, Comben, Graham. There's so many, just fieldable defensive options. And with the points heavily, when the midfield is where you get a bulk of your points, I'm thinking let's just boost it up as much as we can. But anyway, that's my strategy going into the next few weeks. What are your thoughts? Is there a better option this week to Walsh? Do I just bite the bullet and get Jack Steele at 620? Like, he's looking crazy right now, right? I'm not against, just paying a bit extra for a gun like that, but I need to do some calculations and see whether, I can still afford, to get a decent primo next week with a 2 down, 1 up. Because if I get him in, we don't have too much money in the bank. But anyway, that's the plan. The likely VC, possibly Marshall this week, is what I'm thinking. Because that's my pod. So worst case scenario, if he doesn't do too well, he should do okay against the Bulldogs. It might be all right. So between him, Bont, you'd think would have a bounce back game. Ryan and Sheasel, you could go Ryan into Sheasel. They have 2 easy opponents. What's Ryan's last few scores against West Coast? How does he go? Not great. All right, so I don't know, maybe not him. But Sheasel, he's everywhere right now. You would think he'd cop the Finn McGuinness tag if Finn McGuinness plays, because I think if anyone you need to slow down from us, it's Harry Sheasel. So anyway, that's the plan. I'm gonna go into draft land again. I can't be as cocky this week. I did lose. So there we go. Suvalaki Dean destroyed me. I had a calamity of a week. So I have now I've fixed up my team. But Oliver was on the field. English, they were my top 2 picks. So when you get 120 between your first 2 picks in draft, it's not going good. So that wasn't great. Picked up Saligo this week. He's I'll be looping him and maybe McKercher or Wardlaw. We'll see how we go. I'm going to keep Tom Sparrow because it's looking likely that he's going to get that forward eligibility. And then I can mix it up between Powell, Fisher, these 5. Flanders, who I've been playing in the midfield this week, and him. So there'll be 2 forward bench options, and we can assess who's the best ones and, try to bolster the other line soon. Saligo this week. We'll see how he goes. He should have at least 1 good week without Matt Crouch. Let's be fair. Who am I going to verse this week? Let's shout out whoever our round 6 opponent is. We're versing Frappe me crema, which means so frappe is like a Greek iced coffee and cream, which is a shocking combination. But look, his team, I didn't need to do that. The score's already up. His team doesn't look too bad, to be honest with. You know what, Bont? I don't know about Dale and Caldwell. Rankin's good. Yeah, actually, not bad. I'm sure he'll do a couple of changes to bolster his team, but I don't know. Considering how bad my team's looking right now and how all the injuries, Will Day, I need you back, buddy. I need you back. I need a lot. I need a lot in this team. So anyway, but good luck to Arthur, and we'll see how we go with that one. But that's all for this week's video, this Supercoach video. Hope you enjoyed. Little double upload today. We'll be back at it next week. Good luck for this week with your trades. It's crunch time for trades, and we're firmly into upgrade season right now. So all the best. Hopefully the guys you trade in do well, and the guys that you don't trade in don't do well. Catch you on the next one. See you later.
Jake The Snake Waterman has kicked his sixth. He is the poison for Richmond right now. Injecting the venom. I am a wet for Waterman, I tell you that. Wowee!